This is the Polaris Ranger that I was on this is the one that crushed my foot. I went to see my friend Parker, and we would chase lizards around. We'd chase the little grazing quail, and we'd ride around in the Polaris Ranger.
And I was driving on what I thought was a straight road, but I took the wrong road, and I went up a hill.
The car hit loose gravel and started spinning around.
It took the wheel out of my grasp.
And then fell over, and I was already sliding out, so it fell on top of my foot.
I saw a lot of blood.
I looked up and told him he had to go find help. I told him that I might not live if he didn't go find help. He ran 1.5 miles barefoot to go and find help.
And when I rounded the corner and jumped out of the car and saw her foot, it was crushed. It was basically gone. And Emilee was just cool as a cucumber and said, "Mrs. Gwen, I think they're gonna have to cut off my foot. I think they're gonna have to amputate my foot." And inside I was thinking, you're probably right.
The top half of her foot had been completely separated from the bottom half of her foot, and her bones were stacked on top of each other instead of being spread out. And in addition to that, the foot had been degloved. The decision was made because of the severity of Emilee's injuries that she needed the help that the Children's Hospital could provide. I sent an email to my husband, Jack, who was in Afghanistan at the time, and I said nothing more than, "You need to call me."
And when I woke up, Daddy was there. I was really excited.
I know she wasn't here as glad to see me as I was to see her. You can be told all you want, but until I saw her myself, I needed to see her and hold her and make sure that she was okay.
I never will forget, it was probably about 11 o'clock. We were in the room and Dr. Welliver had come in. He said, "I'm going to do everything I can for that little girl," and he had tears in his eyes. To know that the doctor cared that much meant so much to all of us, because if somebody had just lightly taken her case, she might not have been here.
The risk of infection was huge, and if we didn't lose it just on the injuries alone, there's a chance that infection was going to take the foot.
You just knew it was going to be infected, and every time they went in, they found more stuff that needed to be washed out, and they'd reculture it and just make sure that we were making headway with the antibiotics that we were using.
I landed in Kuwait. When I got there, I was able to check my email, and I had an email from Mindy that said, "Hey, we had to put Emilee back in the hospital." Mindy didn't know this, but the Red Cross message that came through said potentially fatal within 24 hours. And at that point, the commander made the decision to go ahead and cancel my orders and send me back for good.
She was in kidney failure, and that's what was making her so sick. And the doctors had come to me and they said, "Her kidneys are functioning at 0. She is in complete renal failure, and if we do not start dialysis, she will die."
Yeah, it's extraordinary to turn out this well. It is, yeah. I've seen ones where you have amputations from it, and chronic infections that are really hard to deal with. She's so strong, and I think she's so independent and so self-sufficient, and that's what I'm sure she would say to another child is, you can fix this, you can take care of this, and you should, because nobody's going to do it better than you are. So. Yeah, that's, I think, the lesson we all, 80-year-olds, we get from Emilee is that just keep fighting.
She's far surpassed my expectations and where she would be today.
It's been an amazing journey. It really has.
My big toe's fused now. It can't really move. The plate and screws were in my arm, and then the other side of my arm just got ripped up from rocks, and these 2 lashes were lacerations to the bone. And I also had a rod in the middle of my foot, but they didn't give me that.
From the beginning, she was just that strong. And so she decided she wanted to do a triathlon. And of course, I'm thinking all the things that can go wrong and all the work she's gone through, all the rehab and everything else. I didn't want to start over. And then just seeing her cross the finish line, I just ran and picked her up and held her. And I guess it was mixed emotion of relief that she didn't get hurt again, and then just pride that she was able to, all the things she's come through, everything she's overcome, just to be able to do that.
And it really seems like almost every specialty at Children's Hospital we used, and they were instrumental in getting Emilee back to where she needed to be, back to our new normal.
Everything you need clinically is here. You can find people that can answer all the questions that you have about even a case as complicated as she is.
From top to bottom, everybody at the hospital is just phenomenal. And again, I could never tell them how much I appreciate it. I can never express gratitude enough for what they did for my little girl. How important the research is and how important it is for them to get these research grants and bring in specialists like Dr. Welliver, who came here based on the ability to do medical research and help children and invest in their lives in the way he was able to invest in Emilee's life.
The money raised through Children's Miracle Network Hospitals benefits Children's Hospital Foundation in order to bring the most outstanding pediatric research doctors in the country to Oklahoma City. Children's Miracle Network hospitals will continue to strive to provide necessary funding to give hope for all children needing a medical miracle. The goal of Children's Hospital Foundation is to ensure that no child should have to leave the state to receive the best care they could get anywhere in the country. Research, education, and clinical care hold the keys to a bright and healthy future for the children of Oklahoma.